Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, 3 men charged after police allegedly found a gun under passenger seat. 3 men have been arrested and charged after a firearm and ammunition were allegedly found when the vehicle in which they were traveling was searched by police during an operation on the Pedro Cross Main Road in St. Elizabeth on Friday. The men have been charged with the possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. They are 39-year-old LaShawn Brown, laborer of Hodges Land, Giddy Hall, St. Elizabeth; 39-year-old Ricardo Murray, a farmer and a construction worker, also of Hodges Land, St. Elizabeth; and a 31-year-old Andre Christie, a farmer of Arlington in Grange Hill, Westmoreland. Reports from the police are that about 9:15 p.m., a team was conducting a roadblock operation on the Pedro Cross Main Road when a blue Hyundai motorcar with 3 men aboard was signaled to stop. The men reportedly disobeyed and were later intercepted by members of the police team. The vehicle was searched in the presence of the men, and one Glock 19 pistol and the magazine containing 16 9mm rounds of ammunition were found under the passenger seat. The men were apprehended and taken to the station where they were officially charged. Their court date is being finalized. Manchester taxi operator charged with a burglary. Sleuths attached to the Manchester police on Saturday charged a 43-year-old taxi operator for breaking into a house and stealing $150,000. Dwayne McDonald of Richmond District in the parish is to go to court on a charge of burglary. The incident happened in Newhall District in the parish on Thursday, September 26. The police report that the 2 sisters who reside at the same house were away from the dwelling, and about 12:40 a.m. they were alerted to a video message from a camera they had installed at the residence. McDonald was seen entering the dwelling through a window at the side. The lawmen were alerted, and it was discovered that $150,000 was missing from a bag belonging to one of the women. The video footage implicated McDonald, and he was apprehended. On Saturday, October 5, he was charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. A court date for him is being finalized. Human rights group wants Haitians to be assessed for asylum or refugee status. International human rights lawyer and the founder of Freedom Imaginaries, Malene Alain, has sent a letter to the Ministry of National Security and the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency requesting that the Haitians who arrived in Jamaica on Saturday be granted access to determine whether they can receive refugee status or asylum. The letter, dated October 5, was sent to Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang and the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Alison Stone Roof, as well as the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of PICA, Garth Williams. Alain requested that the 20 Haitians who landed on a beach in Kensington, Portland, be granted access to a procedure where an individualized assessment of their protection needs can be carried out. Given the devastating crisis in Haiti, which does not currently allow for safe, dignified returns, it is essential that each person be screened in accordance with a differentiated approach so that the vulnerable groups such as asylum seekers, victims of human trafficking, women and the children have access to the protection they need, the attorney said. We also request that the Haitians be allowed to communicate with our attorneys at law so that we can provide legal assistance to protect their rights under Jamaica's Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, the Convention relating to the status of refugees and its 1967 Protocol, UN Refugee Convention, and the Jamaica's 2009 Refugee Policy, she added. She went on to express a concern over previous cases when Haitians who arrived in Jamaica would have been sent back to the violence-ridden island, while noting that, based on Freedom Imaginaries' account, over 130 Haitians were expelled from Jamaica without due process since July 2023. We are also concerned that in previous cases, those Haitians who were not collectively expelled were charged with illegal entry and subjected to prolonged detention in deplorable conditions that we believe constitute inhumane or degrading treatment and in some cases even torture under constitutional and international law, Alain said. Alain has been a staunch critic of the government and the way each case of Haitians' arrival in Jamaica is handled. In September 2023, when 36 Haitians were sent back to their country, in less than 24 hours after their arrival, Alain, in a letter, accused the Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the other government ministers of deliberately trying to impede their access to legal support and the information on their rights. There has been an increase in the number of Haitians arriving in Jamaica by boat over the last couple of years as they attempted to flee a country that is being overrun by gang violence. Fire at the Lucea market, no surprise, says a former official. Former enforcement officer at the Hanover Municipal Corporation, Craig Oates, has observed that the fire that engulfed the Lucea market early Friday morning did not come as a surprise. More than 20 shops were destroyed in the fire. Mr. Oates expressed a concern about the management of the facility, says critical infrastructural safeguards have been lacking for some time. He says vendors have long requested crucial safety infrastructure and the measures to be established. He contends that the market is also overcrowded.
And whilst I am not casting the blame on anyone, what is obvious is that the organization and the layout of the market and the way it was being done by the Hanover Municipal Corporation could have been better done. A market is a commonplace, and what can happen right now as a result of this fire is that the cost of food can go up and it will affect the common man. And I'm calling on the Hanover Municipal Corporation that has direct control of this market to look around the market. Probably the next time it is going to be a loss of life. And all of this can be avoided if we just get the proper structure in place. And what is the proper structure? Electricity properly received from the Jamaica Public Service, water, and regular maintenance. As a Hanoverian, it pains my heart that millions of dollars has to come and go up in flames for us to understand exactly what is happening in the parish, because we have so politicalized every single thing. So we try to squeeze in everybody to give them a shot. But we should have the necessary safety and precautionary steps taken so that we can have a safer environment. And this is where we are now.
Several vendors lost their livelihoods in the fire, which started shortly before 4 a.m. on Friday. Meanwhile, Mayor of Lucea, Sheridan Samuels, has promised that the Hanover Municipal Corporation will be providing relief for the vendors. JCF and the JDF launched a joint initiative against the gangs. The Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force have launched an interagency operations forum aimed at combating the country's persistent gang problem. The National Assault on Gangs initiative seeks to enhance the coordination between the nation's security forces in their efforts to dismantle criminal gangs that pose a threat to national security. The Interagency Operations Forum will serve as a central point for planning, intelligence sharing, and operational coordination across the country. Deputy Commissioner of Police Warren Clark, who is in charge of strategic operations, emphasized the significance of the forum and the critical role it will play in targeting key figures in criminal gangs.
The public can expect high visibility of the security forces across communities island-wide, where joint teams of police and military officers are executing targeted operations based on intelligence, investigative findings, and operational expertise. We are focused on apprehending wanted and other individuals who are at the center of violent crimes. I can assure you this is already yielding positive results.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.